Okay, hello, good afternoon, or good evening, actually. It's 5 o'clock. Hello and welcome. Hello, 1EQ. How are you? So, I wanted to come and talk a little bit. I am coming at y'all a little sideways about something that I want to talk about. But, really, I thought I would try to make this a positive conversation, okay, for the peoples, for everybody, okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys about how to live a healthy, wealthy life in abundance, a healthy life. Because wealth ain't everything. And there's been a lot of people that have found out that you can have wealth, but then your health can be bad or other stuff can happen. And how to live in peace and just love and joy is what I want to talk about. How do you do that? Well, it's a lot of requirements that require a lot of self love. Okay. Number one thing that came to my mind when I decided to have this discussion is that you have to be able to be happy for people. Okay. Be happy for people. Be happy when people that you know are succeeding and getting somewhere in life. Because you know what that does? It opens up doors for you. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that feel as though somebody has done them wrong. I totally understand that. We're not talking about that. Okay? We're not. I personally am of an opinion that I don't want to stay in negativity based upon somebody's petty actions towards me. So as long as that person has not taken the life of somebody that I love and care about or stolen something from me, you know, robbed me or something, you know, and as long as I'm getting mine, let's see, if you focus on what you're supposed to be doing, then you're going to get all that you want out of this life. Okay? You are. You're going to get all that you want out of this life. But you cannot ever get the things that you want out of this life by hating on other people. You're just not going to do it. You have to learn how to be happy for other people. And I don't feel that I have to explain that to the people that jive with me. A lot of y'all that rock with me, y'all agree with me. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And because haters are not in a good position. People that hate on others, people that have these jealousy problems. And there are some people that are good people that may have jealousy issues, and maybe they went a little too far with it. Maybe those energies sort of intensified as you and your focus was thrown off. You were thrown off completely because you did not have the proper education. So that is what's wrong with a lot of people in this world, I believe. They don't have the proper education, spiritually, especially, because it isn't just what's happening in spirit that is affecting people, but it is also our universe and astrology. As I have grown as a witch, I have realized how much these planets affect us, how much the entire universe affects us. And doing a lot of research on I've been doing a lot of research on retrograde and karmics and karma Okay, as like seriously, like doing a lot of extensive research on it. And I've also been working with Saturn, which Saturn is actually the planet of karma. Okay. So, for example, I think that if you are somebody that was born with your Saturn in retrograde, your life might be a complete mess. Maybe. Okay. Yes. I agree, Ashley, because this channel has to grow back to where it was. Okay. Uh, I believe there's more people watching this channel than what y'all can see. Um, but it's got to show. It doesn't just have to grow. It has to show. Because there are some people, I have haters on this website. And as soon as they see me starting to get views on this channel, even if I'm doing something like, there's companies that can help grow your channel and they're not illegal. It's not bad views, but people on this channel that watch me profusely and they don't like me, they flip out, they do something, they start attacking whenever they see this channel growing. And I keep saying to these people that just because this channel has a certain amount of views on it does not necessarily negate to the money that I have or the money that I'm going to make. I don't really want to talk personally about a lot of stuff, but I am being prepared for home ownership right now. And it's really deep and it's something that I'll probably make paid only content. You know what I'm saying? Like how to like being an entrepreneur, being a small business owner and actually being able to pay a mortgage, thrive and flourish. So these are lessons that I am learning right now that are doing me some good. Right now they are amazing and it's a lot in between there. It's a lot. But I think that at the basis of it, you need to be able to look at this world the way that it is and take all of that information and actually apply it. So, for example, um, I am growing. My business is expanding. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. You too. You too. My business is actually expanding, even though it doesn't look like it. It is because my vision and my education, my knowledge is expanding actually, and it's amazing. It really is. It's amazing. So it's not to say that I'm not going to continue to practice traditional witchcraft. Yeah, I am, but I also incorporate planetary magic with that because that is a very, very real thing. Okay. And so it's growing in a sense to where I am offering chart readings now, from a witch's perspective, which is friggin' amazing because I've educated myself on certain things and it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It really, really is. And so that's the one thing. That's the big, big, big issue with so many people. So many people, they get stuck on either your ex or your rival or what they are doing and what they're doing compared to what you're doing and you get stuck on that and then you find yourself not moving forward. And yeah, there are always going to be people that are going to want to knock you back because they feel that you're going to do something to harm them. You have to focus on yourself. And you can't just go around this world wanting and needing and desiring, even though it's wonderful to have your desires met. But in order for you to have true growth in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and in your life, you have to start taking responsibility for the things that you want. Because I've noticed that energy and that spirit to where people just want things. They want what they want, but they are not willing to go there and to educate themselves on how to get it. that completion in life. And it doesn't always involve being married. Okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Even though it's never too late to get married, it's never too late to be in a good relationship. Okay. It's never too late for those things. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. That was a troll. So I blocked him. Don't get caught up in grief because, yeah. Yeah, we're not having a funeral over here. Sorry. Okay. Sis, you can see these troll accounts before me. Make sure that you block them as they come in here. Mm-hmm. If you can, sis, because I think that the chat is like a minute. It's like a minute delay on the chat. If you can. If you can. I might give Ashley a wrench. I'm not sure though. Okay. So you do have to make sure that you're able to look up at the sky, and you can't necessarily see everything. I know that before I moved to Georgia, I had an experience that was really friggin' amazing. I was at my apartment complex in our pool, or no, it was the hot tub. I was in the hot tub and I looked up, and it was such a bright and beautiful view of the stars. The sky was clear and you could just see, I could see everything. And so that is important for you to do that, for you to actually look at what's in the sky, even though many of us have been taught that, that was bad to do that, that stargazing was bad. But it's actually good for you. It's actually healing, and it's actually very enlightening. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Your life will get better when you stop dealing with things like that and focus on what it is that is your responsibility. Okay. Things that you have to be responsible for. I know I'm a mother of four and I have a grandchild, and I wouldn't give them up for nothing. And most of y'all wouldn't give them up because a lot of y'all have what it takes to actually support your children, even if you have to get assistance right now. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay. A lot of people are struggling, but for you to make a choice to not enlighten yourself and have a better understanding of the world, and the world to me includes everything that's above in the sky. Learning yourself. There are people that have deep subconscious retrogrades and and blocks that control them. There are so many people that are programmed subconsciously, and yeah, you do have to have protection from those people. My God, you have to have protection from those people and their bad energy. As long as you're protected from their bad energy, you're good. Now, I've expanded in other ways. I've been doing packs, and I'm very excited about this because a lot of that deep and negative subconscious programming didn't just come from the planetary connection, it came from demons, lower level entities, bad spirits that people have been dealing with their entire life, and their parents dealt with it. So the parents put a lot of negative subconscious blockages in these kids early on, either through communication or observation. The children just observing the parents' behavior and what they talked about and what they thought about. So, this is important. This is a very important aspect that I want y'all to listen to. These people are factually considered to be demonic in a way, very malevolent. And here's the reason why: they did not have the proper protection. I'm not going to go into detail. The richest people on this planet, the people at the top of the pyramid, they figured this out. And it ain't just about money. It's not. Because there's some people that they don't make a lot of money, but they're still stable, paying their bills, and they like their life. Okay, there's some people living a minimalist life. There's people that live by the ocean, not the ocean. There's people that live by rivers and lakes and streams and double wides, and they love their life. They wake up every day loving their life, thanking God. And it's not some trashy stuff, you know. So there people there's so many different types of people in this world, right? I say that to say money is not everything. However, if you want money, it's certain to me from what I have observed. Because what people will do is they will get stuck on one thing spiritually. Your spiritual journey is going to determine your money and your financial success, period. And I'm not saying that you have to do a pact with Lucifer. I'm not saying that you have to do a pact with Mammon or even Boone or Clonic to have money, but you at least, at the very least, have to have protection from the underworld. And a lot of y'all are like, I'm a good person. Why don't good things happen for me? And it is because there's been a really huge kept secret from you. It's been kept from you. Okay. Now I advise every I can't say every woman because it's not going to be for every woman. But I would say a lot of you guys that have felt held back your whole life, you felt like you were treated unfairly, you felt like you were judged, you felt like you were marginalized just for being a woman. Doesn't matter what race you are, because women of all races become marginalized. I would highly recommend a pact with Lilith. Okay? She's always there for you. If you have a little bit more going on to where you're having attacks and you feel demonically attacked, believe it or not, your protection is going to come from the underworld, which is who I work with now is Forneus. Okay. Now, does that mean that, and honestly, everybody always thinks of the underworld as being underground, you know, which I believe that the underworld is connected to Saturn and then maybe even Mars. You know what I'm saying? But it's whatever you've been taught, because I'm the same way as well. And it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is what it is. If you can access the underworld by traveling upward, then do that. If you can access it by traveling downward or inward, then do that. Okay. Um, but there's certain protections that you need from those malevolent spirits. Forneus is one of them. Okay. And so he's more so because Lilith and Lucifer have been so demonized, like they're the bad guy. Okay. They're the bad guys. You need some kind of protection. The things that are happening to people, I could never be responsible for that. And this is what society tends to do globally. They want to put things on one person and scapegoat. A lot of y'all are dealing with legions of demons and you don't even deserve it. Smaller legions sometimes, but when you deal with certain religions, you're dealing with a lot of demons. A lot. You just have to, think about it. I have a lot of weird theories. It is what it is. A lot of people there's more people that are not accepting of my theories, which I have every right to have my theories. Okay. Because I'm not only a witch, I'm an alchemist and I study these things. Okay. So when you're dealing with certain things, and this is one of the reasons why I don't deal with religion. I don't. I don't deal with it. I don't have a holy Bible in my house because it opens you up to a lot of foul demons, especially as a witch. Like, oh God, like I'd probably break out in hives if one of them was in my house. And I think that a lot of what's in the Bible has a lot to do with Moloch. I think that there are demons in that Bible, and I don't think that you should be picking it up and reading it without the discernment, without the protection. So there's a lot of people that are dealing with stuff like that, but they don't have the proper protection. They don't. And you wouldn't even know what you would need. And so that's why all these bad things are happening to those people, because you don't have the protection, you don't have the discernment, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about. There's and that's why I don't allow people to thump the Bible at me. And I was speaking about that early this morning, talking about hoodoo and Bible curses. It's not just hoodoo practitioners. I'm not trying to demonize hoodoo practitioners, but you know, Christians can put curses on you from the Bible. There are many, many, many curses in the Bible. Okay. And they are being put on people. Okay. Now, do you have to succumb to those curses? Do you have to bow down to those curses? No, you don't. You have a choice. And many people don't realize that they have a choice. Okay. You have the right to choose what God you serve or what God you deal with. You do. You have that right. And knowing your spiritual rights is very powerful. So it doesn't serve them at all. Trust me, it doesn't. It does not serve those people to put these Bible curses on you. And I'm speaking specifically, especially to witches, because they know we know how to throw it back. They know we know how to throw it back. They can't stand it, but it's just the reality. Maybe they shouldn't be doing that. Maybe they should take my advice and quit looking at us, stop looking at other people, and focus on themselves. It bothers me when I see, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm unbothered. That's another thing. People in denial. Well, I'm a witch, I'm an empath, and I'm a healing witch, actually, believe it or not. And it does bother me when I see people more concerned about me than themselves, and they shouldn't be. You should be loving on yourself. Because when you looking at me, you can't look at yourself and you can't see how I'm getting ready to thrash you. And so a lot of them think that there's actually strength in numbers, but if there was strength in numbers, then more than 15% of this population would be thriving. So about 85% of the population is suffering, and most of them believe in the Bible and they follow it. I believe in the Bible. I believe it's very real. Do I follow it? No, because I'm not a follower. Okay? I spoke about Jesus Christ earlier this morning, and but I told truth. Jesus Christ was homeless. He was not rich. So it's kind of confusing. And they say in the Bible, there's certain verses in the Bible that you can use for money workings. There are certain things. So I'm not saying that Jesus is not powerful. I'm not saying that at all. I would never disrespect Jesus Christ. Okay. Um, I don't disrespect any deities. I've grown to understand the problem, the fact that that can be a problem. Okay. And I think a lot of people need to learn that. But the truth of the matter is that, is it working for them? Is it truly working for them? Because that's what they want is money. We're not talking about pastor of the church. We're talking about the congregation. We're talking about the attendees of that church. Are these Bible verses that they're Googling saying, what Bible verse can I Google to make money? Because I want to start my business. Is it actually working for them? My guess is no. Because if it was working for them, would they be bothering other people? No, they would be vacationing in Cancun. So it's not working for them. And they're wondering why. I can't explain that because that's not my religion. Okay. There's actually a larger percentage of the population who are thriving and doing better, but they're in the shadows and they don't want to be found out because they don't want to deal with people and their issues. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, my God, is the economy bad? Actually, the last time I checked, they said that the economy was doing swell. Okay, I looked it up. We not in no recession, but people are behaving like we're in a recession. Ain't they one EQ? Have you noticed that people are behaving like we're in a recession? We are technically not in a recession. Okay. So what I am doing has nothing to do with what they are doing. Okay. And I've been working with the gods of this universe as well as the gods of this earth, which would consist of Gaia, Lilith, Hecate, Lucifer, Satan, the gods of this planet. Those are the gods of this planet. Okay. Period. Okay. And it just is what it is. I've been very upfront. I understand there are a lot of people that are afraid of that. It doesn't. I think that, hold on. I think that what a lot of people should be more afraid of is the result of the ignorance. Okay. The result of you being very ignorant and living within that ignorance, because ignorance is not bliss. I don't know why people even say that. That's more backwards teaching. That's more warped teaching. Ignorance is not bliss. It's not. Okay. Because you end up in a position in life that you don't want. So, but I've been up front, and it's not likely of a person like myself being upfront about that. But a lot of people, if you're not up on things, once we pass through this new moon in September and then this full moon in September, you're going to know exactly what I am talking about, because time is of the essence and a lot of people are wasting a lot of time. The more time you waste, the worse it can be. Those are not the results of me. I don't control the universe. Working with a deity like Santa Marta does not mean that I can go and murder somebody in their sleep. See what I'm saying? So we got to look at it the way that it is. Yeah, you're right, one EQ. It's a lot of zombies. The zombies are the people, they are the adversaries that walk around and they don't think, and they are totally being controlled. They're under mind control and not in a good way. And nobody else around them can help them. Girl, you making me think of that movie called I Am Legend. Very deep, deep, deep movie. Deep. Okay. So here's the thing, you got to go beyond religion, because a lot of people have been promised things and the promises have already been broken. I can tell you. And it was always meant to be that way. And either you're going to survive or you're not. I can't imagine how it would feel being somebody that has these limited religious beliefs, that knows what needs to be done to survive, but then can't do it because they are afraid. I couldn't even imagine living that way. But there are some people, there are a lot of people that do. Okay. So we don't have to worry about those people, even though they want us to. They want to threaten, they want to harass, they want to, even if they try to throw black magic at you, basically when somebody is doing that, when they're throwing black magic at you, they are really, unless they're me, because I ain't gonna talk about what I know about that. But what they're doing is they're conjuring these weak lower level entities. But most people are weaker than those entities. Okay. If you're very strong and if you have the proper protection, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. You really don't. And it ain't even really about new knowledge. It's about acknowledging. It's about acknowledgement. This is really not new knowledge, but it's more so acknowledgement of the knowledge. It's acknowledgement of the knowledge, basically, because the same spirits that I've been working with, for example, Fornius, told me that he's always been there. I didn't just run into him one day. He's always been there protecting me. Now it's time to bring it to the forefront, to bring him to the forefront. So, and then also with Lilith, there was a long time that I knew I was working with Lilith because I was working with Kali Ma, Lilith, same thing. Diana, Lilith, Hecate is Lilith to me. They're all Lilith. And contrary to what people believe, hold on a second, guys. Somebody is actually making a feeble attempt to psychic attack me. Give me a second, y'all. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. All right. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Maybe they're not disappointed though. Maybe they're living what they're living within their reality, and I don't have to worry about that. I know that my reality is what what was meant to be, what was fate for me was not that, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can do whatever they want to do. I'm not here to question that. I'm not trying to convert Christians over to Satanism or Luciferianism either, you know. But there are certain Christians that will come to get work done, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Um, but I think that the disappointment is already now, is what I wanted to say, Roselle or Roselle. They're already disappointed. They're already disappointed. They were told that God and Jesus was going to bring them this good job, and it ain't happened. They're unemployed. They were told that as long as they go to college and they finish college, they're going to get a good job, and they didn't. They still haven't been hired for these good jobs. You see what I'm saying? And it's been years. And so the disappointment is already here. What they are taught to do is scapegoat and blame it on other people, and that's where the weakness comes in. Okay, that's where their weakness comes in. That's where the problem and the issue comes in. Okay, is the fact that uh you know they were lied to. Okay. Uh-oh, hold on a second. I didn't mean to click on that. So, um that's how you're going to live a good life though. You know, it really is. Not focusing on self, focusing on you, focusing on what you need to learn, which is a lot. It's too much to learn. Like, y'all already spent the first 18 years of your lives in school, which they didn't teach you anything really. They taught you what they wanted you to know, which was okay. It's nothing wrong with that. You were able to sit down and have a conversation with people about history, and yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. But the same thing that you learned in school, you were going to learn anyway, in my opinion. I'm not going to get into that because that triggers people. Okay. Now, if you notice, a lot of those people, they are not learning anything as far as what they need to learn. Hello, Natalie. Hello. They're not really learning. They're not. And it's just the reality of it. They stopped learning. It's like it's been shut down, and they limited themselves, when what they don't realize is that there is a whole universe out there that is screaming at you to learn how it's going to work for you. They're very limited and focused on other things that are not going to serve their purpose. I'm talking about an actual long-term stable purpose in life. It's not going to serve you. What's going to serve you is understanding self, understanding the world. If you have enemies, understanding them, but then making that a smaller portion, understanding how to overcome that. Mhm. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. For me, if you're not teaching me about quantum physics or teaching me something about the universe or teaching me something, even if it's NASA, even if it's space time travel, you ain't teaching me nothing. I don't even want to hear it because that's what we own. So a lot of people try to speak, especially when I start mentioning things like Lucifer, the light bearer, when I start mentioning the planet Saturn and things of that nature, they kind of start to try to downgrade you, especially me, and they want to downgrade you. And it's like, but that's the ultimate in knowledge, is exploring that. Okay. And I don't want to, focus on anything else because nothing else is important to me. You know what I'm saying? And I have a normal life. I'm not just sitting over here all day, just, oh, I'm listening to these frequencies and I'm just, I've left planet Earth. No. No. I live a normal life, it's called balance. So I live a normal life, but there's certain things that I do on a daily basis to meet and obtain certain goals and to understand, even if I'm going through something right now, I know how to solve that problem. I know how to resolve it. Okay. I know how to resolve that issue. I know how to manifest what I need and what I want. See what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting here worrying myself half to death and making myself sick every day. Okay. Mm-hmm. It does, but people have been taught that Lucifer is the adversary. But in reality, Lucifer was just the adversary to those particular people that wanted to control a certain area. It was war, pretty much. It was for war. It was for purposes of war and divide and conquer. So that's why Lucifer is the adversary, because Lucifer was trying to enlighten people. Is it really the government though? Possibly. Yeah, I could see that, but I also do I believe that the government is always going to have their subjects? Yeah. I think if you were to take a position of opposition against that, without, you don't have to come out and speak about, you don't have to, it's a personal thing. It's a private thing. Okay, so you don't, like throughout history we've seen people assassinating presidents and stuff like that for whatever reason. That's not necessary. You have every right to your sovereignty. Are they going to argue with you about that? And then a lot of people, they'll go out there, they'll commit crimes like those people. That I never forget that this happened a couple of years ago, right before they um, hired Biden as president, before they hired him for the job. And there was this lady that they were raiding some government building, and this lady was climbing in through a window and they just shot her down. And when I looked, I was like, oh my God. See, those are the things that, these people freak out. You don't want to freak out. You have every right to do well in this society. Even if you are faced with that adversity, you know, and I think that it does require trust. But I think it's really trust in self. I think it's faith and believe in self first, because everything that is above you is a reflection of you. It's like a higher self. And it's nothing wrong with connecting with what you consider to be the lower self, lower magic, or higher magic. I think that there needs to be a balance between that. That's really what I believe. And it's not that it doesn't mean that every single day you have to either be a negative person or one day you have to be a positive person, and it has to be a perfect balance, but you have to at least have an understanding of why the negativity exists and how to get through it. And I do believe that traditional witchcraft is everything. I will always practice traditional witchcraft. Um, Although it kind of doesn't look like that, I was looking at my witch bottles the other day in comparison to some of the ones that I've seen historically, which I do want to do some historical witch bottles, like with the antique type, but it almost looks like science in a bottle, you know? So I believe witchcraft is science. And I believe witchcraft has evolved, but it doesn't mean that we still don't need the traditional stuff. I did some work over here that I'm going to teach to my students that they are, oh, wow. Okay. And not work that I've shown, you know, but it's pretty amazing. Okay. So the herbs and the stones and the crystals and the fire and water and air and earth and dirt, those things are always going to be relevant and very powerful. But when it's time for you to expand, see, a lot of people are not accepting the expansion. That's why if you're a spiritualist out there or a witch and you're having a problem with other witches, it is usually because it's time for those witches to expand. If you've done nothing to those witches except for maybe sent back their own bad energy, and if you've done nothing to those witches to do harm to them and they're trying to harm you, it is because they are not accepting the expansion. I know that for a fact. Okay. And so a new thing that it came out was these transmutation bottles, which actually do work. I don't know what my spirits did with two of them though, because nobody's taken them. They've concealed them or something. I don't know they may have got knocked behind my cabinet, on my altar. Um, but it's so weird because we're not going to negate away from return to senders and warding. Warding is everything. As far as transmuting a whole bunch of somebody else's negative energy, nah, you can't do that because you just never know, because energy can be spirit. So I think that having a knowledge of that, and I think that a lot of people are missing that, especially if you were just kind of trained on the new age stuff. I think you have to have the new and the old knowledge of both. Oh, God, it will always be. Traditional witchcraft is always going to be relevant. And I'm talking about the witchcraft that predates Christianity, that predates the Bible. A lot of the stuff that you see us doing, they did that far before. This is stuff that, and just because something predates something doesn't necessarily make it powerful, but it worked because obviously the earth has grown, people have grown, and especially when it comes to your ancestral line, if you're healthy and you're here, you may not necessarily be healthy, but you're here and you're seeing another day, they did something right. And it bothered people. It did. You could tell that it bothered people to an extreme amount. Not that I felt spiritually attacked, because I don't get spiritually attacked like that. Like, throw it at me, you're going to get it right back. But I could see it. I could see people being very upset because they want to use that holy Bible to curse you for generations, and to curse your children, and to curse your womb, and to curse your family. They want to do that. Why? I don't know. And I'm talking about the witches. I'm talking about y'all that came from generations and lines of witches. And so a lot of people look at witches as white people. Isn't that weird? That's just the weirdest thing ever. Because it's not. It's all of us. Whatever form it was in, whether or not it was African, whether or not it was Norse, whether or not it was Viking, Russian witchcraft, Australian witchcraft. Um, what's another one I'm looking for? Mm, it went. No, it was still witchcraft. Oh, Native American witchcraft. There's always been witches of every race, of every you know um, nationality. You know what I'm saying? My knowledge is expanding so that I can teach. Okay, and gain a better perspective. Some of the personal things that I'm going through now, it's pretty freaking amazing. The lessons that Saturn and Mars and Neptune right now is teaching me, these are things that I'm going to be able to not only pass on to my children, but then you guys as children as well. And then, the people that are in my coven, I already have a coven. Right. Yeah. I think that they correlated with the long hats, and then the fact that the Ku Klux Klan, they were wearing long hats, but that's because they were doing rituals. Why would you wear a long hat? It's a cone. It's like a cone pyramid that is connecting you to the universe. So that's a universal thing. Wearing a long hat. I don't get scared. I'm not going to go to a Halloween party as a black person and get scared because there's a white woman with a long ass hat on. So I don't understand these little. And I'm like, why you got a nub? That's a nub hat. Even though those hats are cute, it's like it's okay for you to wear your long hat. I'm not afraid of you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. So yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think we also, as far as with that is concerned, I think that we also have to like break down those beliefs that black people look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because like even in looking at my own family, there are people in my family that have these little tiny noses, you know what I'm saying? But then there's some of them that have larger noses. So we come in all different colors and looks. Black people, that's just like white people. White people look like, sometimes you can look at some white people and they have very Afrocentric um, features, but then some of them, they have very European features. It's not, that's something that we are surpassing because it's all about gaining the knowledge so you can heal yourself from the inside out and manifest the life that you want. Now, I do believe that there are certain sectors that want us to stay ignorant because they feel that that gives them power. But as you can see, a lot of them are kind of dying off, no matter what race or age they are. I hate to say that and make it sound dark and sinister, but because those are the things that are going to drive society into oblivion. Those are things that when God decides, when the universe decides, oh, wow, let's flip it and switch it, because eventually there is going to be a shift. I don't know exactly when it's going to be. I know that next year is going to be a trip, because a lot of people that are used to that, and then because as any race of people, if you are still tripping off of that, and especially if you're allowing it to affect you, because it should not affect you, is what I'm saying. It should not affect you if you let it affect you. That's just like one EQ. You're you know what? I see a house for you. You in your house by the ocean, big bay windows, beautiful. Or are you really going to be residing in that home hurt about racism? I couldn't even imagine it. I don't believe our ancestors want that for us. Now, I do believe that when certain things happen, okay, then yeah, there are protectors, there's guiders. But I also think, why put yourself in a situation that is going to manifest that for you? Okay. So, because honestly, there are a lot of other races of people that feel discriminated against every single day for whatever reason. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, yeah. I think in order to really get a greater understanding of that, you have to look at the planet Saturn, and in this lifetime, the because do y'all know the trippy thing about it is that some of you guys were not black in a lot of your lifetimes, and a lot of you guys were not white in your lifetime. So there's some of you guys that literally in one of your lifetimes you was a slave. In another one of your lifetimes you were a slave master. Or you were it's not it doesn't just end with slavery. You had some kind of rulership over something, or either you were being ruled over. So those lifetimes are being experienced from different angles. And I think that a lot of people have to look at that too. It's not anything that takes all day, all year, a whole lifetime. These are things where when you set your intent, you navigate that, you control that. If I go out in the world and take a baseball bat and start smashing car windows randomly, and or smashing windows of businesses in the downtown Atlanta area, and I get arrested, can I honestly say that they arrested me because I'm black? No, I can't say that. I got arrested because I was busting out car windows and acting a fool. Now, if they roll up on me and beat the crap out of me and shoot me and beat me down, now that may be a little suspect. But hey, I'm not going to do nothing crazy like that ever. And I've never done that, never will. So, I want us, when we have these meetings in our homes, because yeah, as a witch, in the next 5 years, I can see myself hosting a witches ball. You know, I can see myself doing that. When we are having these meetings, we're going to if we have to speak about those things, then we will. But what's going to be the reaction? Are we on top of it or are we underneath it? Is it hurting us or are we telling our stories of victory? Or are we going to be talking about that at all? When you think about the things that people do that's considered to be, I wouldn't even say high society, but that's the only way I can describe it. And I feel that even if you're sitting around a bonfire roasting marshmallows and you're just sitting there and you're sipping wine and you're relaxing and you're talking about just having general conversation to me, and ain't nobody tripping, ain't nobody feeling bad, the energy is flowing, everybody feels very peaceful, everybody feels very tranquil. That to me is high society as well. That's a goal. That's like an accomplishment, to sit around with your colleagues or your friends or your family and you're not hurting about anything. That's goal. Okay, as far as like what you want to do with your friends, what I want to do. I don't know about y'all. That's, because I've been making friends lately. Okay, if y'all notice, I've been making friends. And I would, I would never sit around and harp on, just having a good time and doing things that we enjoy. And if something negative comes on, comes up, if somebody's feeling negative, then we can combine our energies to, help that person. You know what I'm saying? If a person is like, oh my God, I'm experiencing this right now, and because it pops up sometimes. That's just like this morning. I love you guys for accepting me anyway, that I went through that blip of negativity that I removed from my channel. Um, because it's one of those things that had to come up. It was deep, deep, deep anger that had to come to the surface, and I had to let it out. I had to vent. Okay. But, once we get to certain places in life, you know, I mean, I have no doubt that there's probably going to be times when I'm in my 6 bedroom, 6 bath, 6 fireplace lake house, and I'm going to need to take an empty bottle of good wine, and I'm going to have to wrap it up and bust it, because that's how I break curses. That's one of the processes that I take when I'm breaking any kind of curse on myself or somebody else or just anything. I'm not gonna bust it all over the house, but it's in a controlled environment to where I'm gonna crack that glass open, or I may have to sit in front of my dark mirror and do some work. You know what I'm saying? It may not be as often, because and here's another thing. Anybody else feel as though there's so much going on and there's people that are doing too much that it almost gives you like a spiritual burnout? I know Ashley was mentioning that to me, because they're doing too much. You're just just going and going and going and going, because they're doing the wrong thing. If you're actually doing the right thing, you don't have to do it over and over again. And so then we have to react to that, doing it over and over and over again. So that's why I created that bottle to ward that stuff off. It's pretty much warding. It's, and letting people know, hey, you try to touch me and you're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck. That's why I have wards over here. I bought these cactuses like a year ago, and those are good plants to have in your house because they will live forever even without watering them. But I did water them, and I have to replant them. That's a project that I'm going to be doing very soon, to where I'm going to repot these cactuses so that they can grow. Because one of them has actually grown a little baby on the side of it. It's like a little baby cactus growing. Okay. But what I did was I used a mixture of my menstrual blood with water to water them, and I enchanted them to be wards, to where, like, if somebody throws something at me, you know, you gonna get spiked back. And it may not be instantly unless it has to be. It may not be instant, for those, which it really kind of needs to be insta. Because it makes no sense, but it is what it is. Different people are at different levels. Oh yeah, it I wouldn't say it, maybe we could do some things to where we dress up, in these nice ball gowns and with the masks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, very Renaissance-ish and stuff. But, I like the casual things, sitting in front of the fireplace, relaxing, having a drink, or actually, I drink wine, having a nice glass of wine, maybe having some, hors d'oeuvres, some sushi or something, and just relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a vision that is going to happen because everybody needs that. Everybody needs, for some reason, for so long it was like I was being isolated. No, you can't have any friends, can't have any. It's like the universe was like literally just stabbing these people because they were like, no, you can't just tell this woman that she can't have a social life. Like, y'all notice how they, how it was like a social discord. It was like, what's going on? It was weird. It was like a full demonic infestation. It was very strange, to the point where even when I did form social connections, it felt kind of awkward, which I had never felt that way previously. It felt kind of awkward for people to be nice to me. It was weird. It was weird. And that happened within years. But then I learned the proper way of protecting your subconscious, because those things that were happening to me in social media, I was collecting them in my subconscious, for real, for real. And I had to get rid of those things. Hmm. I agree. I agree, but that's why I did that witch bottle this morning. I am totally obsessed with the witch bottles. I think it is an excellent way of doing magic and preserving it. Which is why I that was the whole point of the Trinidad scorpion pepper that I put, which I would have preferred to have a ghost pepper in it, but it's 200 million, um 200 million. So basically what that does is it's like a firewall, pretty much, is what that forms, to where, you try to touch me and you gonna get burnt. It just is necessary, okay? Because people shouldn't be doing that anyway. What are you doing that for? Like, what are you trying to hurt me and my family? Are you trying to hurt my clients? So, also another thing, there is limited protection for like just my company overall. You know what I'm saying? But for like, if you have a whole thing going on to where you need protection, you would need your own witch bottle. But yeah, there is certain protections that are for my business, my family, because I consider my clients to be friends. I do. It's almost like you have to be, because you sometimes you go through so much together. You know. Hmm. We should be, and we are. We are. We are one EQ. We've been expanding. The expansion already happened. It's manifesting right now. But whenever I put up that witch bottle video, which was a couple of days ago, that was when the expansion reached the earthly physical realm. That, a lot of the times when y'all do these rituals, it's almost like it already happened in the spirit realm, but now you're pulling it into the physical. So a lot of people get stuck especially witches and spiritualists, they get stuck in the spirit realm. No, you have to be able to pull that into reality. So that is something that I've noticed, and because I've seen people's rituals and I can read people's minds, they cannot figure out how and the heck to bring their vision into a physical reality. They can't figure that out. And that's very frustrating. And so that's what leads to people and, doing war and feeling some type of way about other people, about what they're doing, because they haven't figured out how in the world do I pull this vision, this what I can see, into the physical reality, which is going to be manifesting. We're not talking about people that are envisioning you dying and all that sick stuff because they jealous of you. No, I'm talking about actually turning your thoughts, your vision, what you see, into physical, into gold. That part right there. That part right there is a challenge for many of them. And they get jealous and angry of people that they've seen do that. Even if you buy a little silver trinket necklace. I bought one. I bought a diamond necklace for myself for Christmas a couple of Christmases ago. I don't know what I did with it. I gotta find that dang on thing. I don't know what I did with it. I must have stuck it somewhere. It's somewhere around here. And so to be able to invest your money in diamonds, gold, and then even a house, even when you manifest a house, that's a big deal. Many people, because they can't sit down and figure it out, it's difficult for them. That's why they couldn't imagine manifesting large amounts of money like so many people do. So, what they do is they want to become an obstacle in you manifesting. So, how do you not make those people an obstacle? Are you going to kill them? You can't do that because you end up in prison. So, yeah. Anyway, I will have it available on the website, the chart readings. This is a perfect time to, release that. Now, with the chart readings, they're not going to be done live, even though you're able to purchase a live reading if you just want to talk to me. My chart readings are going to be done where I'm going to do them like I'm going to just sit here and do them. Right. That way I can just sit and focus on reading the chart, reading your planets that are in retrograde, and then letting you know what it is that need to be done. So it's like a consultation as well. It's a consultation also, to let you know from not just like a traditional witchcraft perspective, but then also what can you do? What exactly needs to be done to connect you to the universe so that the universe is now working in your favor. Because, like I said, if you were born with Jupiter in retrograde, you probably got bad luck. If the day that you were born, Jupiter was in retrograde, that means you have bad luck. Extreme bad luck. Your whole life. It just is what it is? No, not necessarily, because you can change that. So I do think it's important to understand the alignment. That is the alignment, is these planets, and not just the planets above us, but then Earth as well. Okay. I don't know, Ashley. I honestly believe that a lot of those people, the weird things that they do, is because they don't understand enough about self. That's just like when a new witch hits these YouTube streets, especially depending on the race of that witch. All of a sudden that witch is being attacked, and there's things happening, and people are trying to do certain things. And the reason why is because those people feel, oh my God, I'm going to get reduced. That's exactly why. Oh, this is going to take money away from me. And it's like, well, you don't need to be watching other witches if you feel that way. Perhaps it's time for you to expand. They don't want to expand. I mean, even if you're a person that doesn't practice witchcraft and you have a college degree, which I still think you need to know to have some kind of protection from witchcraft and the protection of witchcraft. But, that's just like if you work for a Fortune 500 company, you need to brush up on your skills. You may need to go and get a certificate and learn something else. They don't understand that it's time for you to expand. So what they do is they try to limit the other person and attack that other person because they, to me, are ignorant. To me, it's ignorance. You know what I mean? Because these deities and God, whatever it is you consider to be God, is who put these people out here. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what they do. So, and what else can you do but roll with the punches? I mean, I've seen them get very dangerous with it, though. They want to murder people out here. That's sad, ain't it? We got to get rid of that bad element out of the spiritual community. They want to physically kill somebody because they don't know how to grow. They want to create trauma and tragedy in the lives of your family and hurt and harm because they won't grow. They won't evolve or grow. That's so sad. Yeah, I support other witches. I see a lot of witches doing certain things. And, there's this one witch that she makes these beautiful ritual items and things that you can put on your altars and stuff. And I want to shop from her so bad. I love shopping on Etsy. That's actually what makes the world go round is, that's actually the science of money. That's the science of money. People hoarding money and holding on to money and being selfish and not wanting to support others, that doesn't create that creates stagnation. you know that creates stagnation. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I hope that you guys enjoyed this discussion. If you are having any problems, you notice when Mercury goes into retrograde, oh boy, they get to acting a fool. They get to, and for years and years, it's like, God dang, I acknowledged you years ago. You ain't took off like a rocket yet. I'm sorry, excuse me. I was able to curse you. I did something to you. You in the wrong business, baby. But I will tell you that when when it comes to these people these Christian witches and stuff that don't like you and stuff, y'all better watch out for them because it's something about that Bible. So that's why I talked about that. Y'all gotta look out for stuff like that because mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, it's not. It's not cool at all, man. It is like, my goodness gracious. People that operate like that, they I mean, they just look crazy to me. And it's not like I'm here to sacrifice myself. No, we ain't gonna go that far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna figure out a way. My spirit, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm here to assist with what I have the knowledge to assist with when it comes to spiritual work. Not just the spirit, but mundane. Spirituality, witchcraft can absolutely help with the mundane. Like, for example, like I was telling y'all about people that go around spreading rumors about you, trying to ruin your reputation. Fornius. That's who you would need to go and talk to. Now, if the things that they're saying about you is true, then Fornius may not work that out for you. He may say, hey, you need to go on to somebody else. He's very noble. Okay. If what they said, if I'm talking about a smear campaign, and a lot of y'all are not just, y'all not experiencing smear campaigns in social media, you're experiencing smear campaigns in your neighborhood, especially a lot of y'all that want to get into real estate. And I think also Fornius goes a lot further. I think that he ties and twists tongues of people that are lying on you and spreading rumors. I think he goes a lot further than that. I think he's the key in that. Okay, and it may not even work overnight. He may not be able to work those people overnight, but he's gonna get them. People talking about you, people lying on you. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I definitely look, why would I be in business? I'm not in business to do harm to people. That's ridiculous. That would that would mean that my company would go nowhere. That's just like for me, none of my clients have to worry about me trying to use them as a sacrifice. Like, you hear all kind of stupid crazy stuff. But there are practitioners out there who right now they're attacking the good people because they have set up there and basically, trying to, run around here, oh, I'm a trickster and I'm this and that. And it's like, no, you're a fool. Because you understand that Hecate and Lilith governs over all of that witchcraft that you're practicing. They don't want to respect the hierarchy of spirits. They want to be the hierarchy of spirits. And I never did understand that people here in the flesh, what you trying to put yourself in an early grave or something? Go right ahead then. You know. So I think that the more of us that are trying to create also a more positive approach to the craft, you know, no, I don't like to think that I'm doing spiritual work that's gonna actually harm somebody. I'm not even that type of person. I'm one of the sweetest people that you'll know. But when I start feeling like you're trying to hurt me, or when I start experiencing unexplained pains in my body, I can ask. This is my own testimonial. I'm gonna give my own testimonial to that video that I did before I did that ritual. I had pain in my back because, listen, I knew what was going on spiritually. I was pretty much getting my wings so I could fly, not to die, but to fly. And I was having this unexplained pain in my upper, like, it was weird. It was like a pull muscle or some shit. And it shouldn't have even been that way because I had already did all the work, right? But it was somebody that was trying to literally, You know that this ascension and this elevation is not supposed to be painful. We're having those growing pains because of other people's intent, and maybe even a large number or group of people's intent to not let you grow, right? You're like a rose trying to grow out of that, and they're steadily trying to stomp you out and stunt your growth. Right before I did that ritual, I was in tremendous pain. Like I could just feel it. It was very painful. When I started working that bottle, all of the pain started going away. Like it just literally, I put it in that bottle. I was able to channel it into that bottle. And it really, I think because of the intent, or maybe it was the astrological alchemical symbols that I was using, I think that that is what created that environment to where my body could heal. And I just put it all in there. And then when I stuck that Trinidad scorpion pepper in there, literally it was all gone, because I had even taken a bath and I was still kind of in a little bit of pain. I was like, why am I? And the pain kicked in. Was it Sunday? It was as soon as I got my packages. I bought them upstairs. I set them down, and you could tell that the experience that I was going to have with the things that I had purchased, which I am going to buy a larger wax warmer. Yeah, I need a big one. So I am going to get a big one. Okay. Because that little tiny one, it's good. It's kind of inconvenient, because when I'm needing to warm up, like melt a large amount of wax for my larger witch bottles, it I have to do it like 2 or 3 times, and then it makes it look all clumpy and stuff. And yeah, but so I am going to get a larger one. But it was something about that, because I walked upstairs and I set down my packages and I said, I'm the queen of the world. And all of a sudden, it was like my back, it was like something was like expanding within myself. And then it was a pain. So I don't know if I was removing something or what was going on. I must have. That's why I be telling y'all got to know about this moon. Y'all have to, and you can't forget. Like so many people forget. You have to, and that's why I'm here as a reminder. If you're experiencing anything right now, you're probably releasing a lot of those strongholds, and you're releasing yourself from that. You're releasing all of that negative stuff that people put in you. You're releasing it. Okay, so you may even have you may be pooping a lot or something. But when you have that, and you have to make sure that that experience is let, make sure that you're feeling comfortable, because pretty much, and that's happening right now. That happens when the moon is waning. So it's important from that full moon going down to the new moon for you to release that stuff, and for you to release yourself from it, rather, those limitations and those blockages. And then also, and I hate to talk about this, because certain people will come on here and say, I'm the one that's doing that to you, and they'll try to take credit for it, but they don't have the power to do that. Or yeah, unless somebody gave them the power, and then the person that think that they gave them the power didn't have the power to do that. I've been doing unbindings on myself that took several years to manifest. I don't know what the they're like turtles or something, but hey, even things that take a long time to manifest can be detrimental. But you know just to let y'all know, it, nobody should be binding your own personal power. Those people are going to get karma. Get the frick out of here. Nobody should be binding somebody else's personal power. If you're binding somebody so that they can't do harm to you, that's different. You don't bind somebody so that they can't nurture themselves. I feel that a person can literally call on Satan and stomp your ass out for doing stuff like that. So that's stupid. Like, some people are just stupid as hell. Okay, I'm sorry. If I'm going to bind a witch, I'm going to bind a witch from doing harm to me. That witch expanding and doing her thing and doing and popping, that's not hurting me. Why the hell would that hurt me? That's so stupid. So then now you're not only you're afflicted yourself, but now you're trying to affect the whole community of witches. So why would you do that? Now you're seen as a problem. And not just by me. It's just that I'm the one that's going to tell you straight up to your face that I got a problem with you. Other people are going to come sideways. No, I come straight ahead. You see what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to um, work related things and career related things and business things. All of that is predicated upon by my chart. My moon is in Virgo. So what do bees do? Virgo's spirit animal is a bumblebee. What do? They come straight at you with their stinger. So I'm not the type of person that hides, throws my hands and hides. I'm not. Okay. I'm a straight up and down type of person. Okay. Then my Venus is in Taurus. So that makes me a bull. Then my rising sign is Leo. My ascending is Leo. So that means that I'm going to come at you like a lioness. So and they can't change who you are, even though they want to, because who you are bothers them. And they wouldn't have to see that side of you if they would just leave it alone. Right now they're thinking of all sorts of ways to stop you from being you and from living within your greatness and living your best life instead of trying to figure out what they're going to do instead of them expanding. That's going to be Lilith, one EQ Lilith. Lilith is going to help you. And, a lot of people think that Lilith is evil and that she hates men and that she's going to hurt, because a lot of us have, a lot of women have marriages or either relationships with men that, they want to control, even though they don't have a pot to piss in nor a boot to throw it out with. Sometimes, okay, that's your business. I don't judge people. I'm not going to say, oh, you're less of a woman because you have a man that doesn't have a job. I don't operate that way. So there's no judgment over here. Okay, people that are judging like that, they're going to find themselves facing judgment. So I don't do stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you why one EQ is because men that feel like they have not accomplished, and this can include our fathers, they haven't accomplished the things and done the things that they want in life, which some of those things are out of this world. A man can't expect to hold you back because he hasn't bought a yacht yet, right? Oh, I gotta hold every woman back in my life until I get a Porsche, so every woman I have to hold her back. No. That's why though, because they feel like they come first. They feel like the things that they want in life they should do it first before you. They should precede you in that, which is silly because all they're doing is holding themselves back too. Okay. And yeah, there is protection. There's many ways of protecting, and the thing of it is that we don't have to overcome that stuff by necessarily fighting with them or cussing them out and things of that nature, especially if um especially if what was I going to say about that, especially if it's not a part of their journey. Again, a lot of men have a primitive way of thinking, one EQ. They think very primitively. They think way more primitively than even the primitive people of this earth. They think more primitively than cavemen. They don't really know the knowledge that those cavemen had. They don't know. So they have a very primitive way of thinking. Don't, Lena, do not jump. No. Oh my God. I am so tired of you jumping up on my altar. You're too fat. You act like you a little bitty thing. She act like she's skinny or something. Like she just gonna jump up there and not knock anything down. Well, you can't jump on my altar. So anyway, guys, it's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta get off of here. I hope that y'all enjoyed this discussion. Just a quick reminder. Yes, you can get my chart readings always coincide with the with my reading prices. So for example, if you want a mini chart reading, then you can get that for $44 and you can just let me know. Hey, I'd like to get like a little mini read of my chart. So if you want that, you can do that. And then if you guys want a full read, then you can do that for 77. And so I am still running my Mercury retrograde special. Okay, feel free to go to the website. No, you're not bothering me. No, I am not overwhelmed. I noticed that certain associations with certain people will make people assume that I am overwhelmed. I'm only overwhelmed when you guys are not giving me work to do. Otherwise, if you're giving me something to do, then I could never be overwhelmed because I really don't pay those people no attention. It's kind of like this little consciousness out there to where, oh, I'm just dealing with a lot. And oh, God, do you even have time? Like, yeah, like my time is money. Yeah. How do you think that I earn my keep? So, and I think that that's why these people, especially, you can tell I can read their minds. I'm going to go live every other day and talk about her. Every time she uploads a video, I'm going to make a video about her. And y'all really quit paying attention to those people because I have no connection with those people. Even if those people are connected to somebody that I may know, I still have no connection with those people. With the frequencies that those people are on, the mindset that they are on, I am not on. That's just like they came in here talking about somebody's mama dying. I don't know your mama and don't care. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know you. Okay. So, I don't even know what they're talking about. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to? I don't know those people. Those people don't know me. So, you know, um, when they be out here doing the fool, I'll be over here watching Netflix series. And y'all should really watch that one called Away. It's a very, very good series about somebody and it's about an astronaut that travels up to it's a mission to Mars. So I was actually searching for mission to Mars the other day and couldn't find it on Netflix, so I found that instead. It's called Away. Okay, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been really, really good. And I think that but I don't think I know it's going to help a lot of people. And that's what I'm here to do. Not just, it's an even exchange, It is, especially when you get spiritual work from me. It's an even exchange. I'm not just taking from you, you're getting what you pay for. Okay. So, yes, ma'am. All right, y'all. I got to go. I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right? I believe today's Tuesday. It might be Wednesday. Who knows? I will catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Hit that thumbs up and please like and share. Okay. Share my lives. I'd like to, right now, I'm working on expanding my audience. Okay. To more people that are like minded. Okay. I'm going to have to watch that. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to watch that. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go look at that a little bit right now. The Fate. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, guys. I am expanding. I want to expand my viewership. And if you guys don't mind sharing with more people that are interested and more people that are on my wavelength. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all later. Follow me on TikTok. High Priestess Jamila. Blessings. Bye bye.